Hello. Hi, guys. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining a few minutes early. I love people who are punctual. It's so good to see you guys here. It's been ages since I've done one of these live webinars. I should probably check that you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I hope so. How are you guys doing? We've got some lovely people from all around the world. Patrice from Birmingham, Kelly from Vegas. So leave me a message in the chat, guys, so I know that you can hear me. And then we can get this show on the road. Megan from South Africa, Gloria from Las Vegas, Mags from South Africa, Hannah from Guatemala. Hi, Hannah. Hi. So I'm going to assume you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Give me a yes in the chat. Here, Ansi, Antonella, thank you so much. It's so good to be here with you guys. Oh, it's nice to have a little gathering. How's quarantine treating everyone? And I think this is like the first webinar I've done. It is the first webinar I've done since March, which is insane. Because usually I'm doing them all the time, but it's just been a strange year, hasn't it? You know, where we're all sort of saying, oh, well, I'll just give it another month and I'll give it another 2 months. And then, you know, and then before you know it, it's December. Okay, so Gloria cannot see or hear. Are you guys in the stage? If you guys click on stage. Because some people can see and hear me. Some people can't. Hopefully we can resolve this. I want everyone to be able to see and hear me, obviously, before I start this thing. Okay, anybody else having issues where they can't see or hear me? Should see a stage button on the left of the screen, and that's where I am. Okay, Gloria had to press stage. Can you hear me and see me? Hopefully you can. Saeed from Morocco. How cool is that? Okay, guys, I'm going to give it another minute just to make sure that the whole video audio thing. Linda doesn't have audio or visual. Linda, click on the stage button on the left. Maybe refresh. Jocelyn can hear and see me. How's everyone else getting on? Guys, I would love to get this started. So if you can see and hear me, then just confirm if you haven't already confirmed. Antonella can, and Jocelyn can. Linda. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to start the presentation soon because otherwise we're going to start running over and I want to be on time for you guys. So if you haven't, because you can't see and hear me, you won't be able to see and hear me, say click on stage on the left, but there is a stage button on the left. And hopefully everyone's on that. So we'll see. Confirmed. Yes, all good. Okay, cool. All right. Do you know what, guys? We're going to get started. Happy holidays, everyone. Oh my gosh, look at you guys over here. That's so cool. Okay. Perfect. I'm so happy. Okay, so welcome to this presentation. We're 5 minutes into it, but I think we just needed that little technical time to sort everyone out. But it looks like everyone is okay now, which is perfect. So welcome, happy December, guys. It's Christmas next week. I hope that you guys are going to have a wonderful one wherever you are. I wanted to do this webinar because I wanted to sort of end 2020 on a high note. I think it's been a very difficult year for a lot of people. It's also been a very transitional year for a lot of people. I'm working with a lot of coaching clients, and some of them right now are having the most phenomenal year that they've ever had in their business. And I think a lot of that is to do with the mindset and the approach that people are having. So I wanted to do this presentation to kind of help you to move into 2021 with a mindset that anything is possible. I don't know whether you've noticed on Facebook and things like that, but everyone is usually talking about how next year is going to be their best year ever, and they're making plans in December to start next year, and they're doing launch plans and this, that, and the other. But I've seen like nothing about that this year. It's just totally been overtaken by the whole COVID situation, which obviously is very serious. But we can still have hope for a prosperous 2021. 2020 hit us like a tidal wave out of nowhere. There's nothing could have planned us for what was going to happen this year. And for sure, it's hit a lot of businesses in different ways. In March, the first couple of weeks of COVID, I lost 2 of my biggest clients. So I kind of like utilized that time and that energy and put it into other projects and relaunching my website and things like that. So I kind of used it as a productive time, but there's going to come a time where you've done your organization, you've done your projects, and you're going to need to start making money again. So this is what I want to talk to you guys about in this presentation. We're going to talk about making money in 2021. We're going to focus in this presentation on the service industry. As many of you know, I'm an online service provider. Have been for a number of years. So this is particularly focused around providing services in the digital space. I am intending to do one that's more geared around products in the new year. So it's going to be very similar, but it's going to be geared around more selling physical products. This one is more geared around providing some kind of service using your skill set. So let's just have a look. Just so you know, over here on my right, I've got another screen. Yes, there will be a recording of this. You should be able to access it directly after. And Sophia is recommending another app, which is nice. Thank you, Sophia. But yeah, there will be a recording of this. So if you have to jump off, no worries. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to start sharing my screen so we can start going into this presentation. And then we're going to just basically take it from there. So hopefully you will be able to see this screen in front of me, this presentation in front of me. And if you can, then please just give me a little thumbs up or whatever you need to do. Say yes. Yeah, thank you, Sophia, sweetie. So if you can see the presentation, just give me a yes, cool. Thank you, Tracy. Oh, and Tracy, I'm glad you're here. It's Tracy's fault that we're on Hopin right now. I don't know whether that's a fault, but Tracy recommended it to me because she said she'd been on a webinar in Hopin, which is the tool we're using for this webinar. So I thought I'd just try it out. So this is where we're at, and this is why we're trying this out. So thank you, Tracy. Shout out to you. Tracy does digital events and public speaking events and things like that if you're interested in an event VA. Okay, cool. So I'm going to jump into the presentation. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to try and get to questions at the end. I'm hoping we're going to have enough time. So do please, if you have anything, just let me know. And then we'll get started. So thanks, guys. Okay, so earning income online in 2021. It's a bit like a minefield right now. We've had so much unexpected stuff happening. But today I want to share with you a 4-step plan for earning income online in 2021 with a focus on services. And this is quickly, and even if you're working full-time or at home with kids, which I know so many people are right now. Since March, I've been full-on homeschooling, plus running the business, plus trying to keep my sanity and all those things. So I absolutely sympathize with anybody who's got not much time on their hands and a lot of things to do. And I wanted to really focus on this. Usually I don't focus on the quick and easy stuff. Usually I focus on longevity, sustainability, long-term business strategy, long-term business plans, that type of thing. Not necessarily like it's going to take forever, but I really want to focus on getting it right from the start, building it from scratch, you know, all of that stuff. But I really want to focus in this webinar on something that's quick and not, even slightly easy, shall we say, at the end. But this is what the plan is for this webinar. It's not my usual style, but this is what's required in these strange times. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle Dale. And I joined the industry in 2005. So I've been in the virtual assistant industry since 2005, when I literally left the UK to have a desire for personal freedom, professional freedom. I was working a job with very long hours. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I wasn't feeling happy. I was definitely in the rat race. Something happened in my life to suddenly change it one day, change my perspective. And I booked a one-way ticket to Egypt. And that was in 2005. So we're talking 15 years ago. And I quickly realized that when I arrived in Egypt, that I wanted to still have the ability to keep traveling, keep moving. I didn't want to ever go back to the UK, as much as I love the UK and my fellow Brits. I didn't want to go back to the UK, to that kind of existence that I had. It felt more like surviving than thriving. So that's when I started my VA business. That's where I got the idea that I was going to take whatever skills I could find within myself and start working online. So from there, from a little dial-up connection in a tiny flat in Luxor, I created a multi-6-figure virtual assistant business literally from scratch. And when I mean from scratch, I mean teaching myself everything, like from how to code a website to how to do graphic design. I mean, I literally would sit there probably about 14 hours a day just fiddling on the computer. So then what happened is I started building the business. I started selling services, and then I went into selling products and services together. And I did that all while living in 7 countries and having 3 kids. I had 3 kids in 3 different countries. I'm now pregnant with number 4, which will also be in a different country as well. So I totally get this whole demand thing of running a business, working, having kids, but not compromising on anything else around you, to still have that lifestyle that you want. And so many people feel like they've got to give something up in their life. They've got to compromise somewhere. But I was never one of those people. So yeah, I've lived in 7 countries, but I've also traveled to many, many more during that time as well. So, and I'm also the creator of OneSourcing. If you haven't heard of OneSourcing, we're going to talk a little bit more about that inside this presentation, to sort of use as an example. But basically, it's an alternative style of virtual assistant service. And I've hired more than 70 VAs over the years within my company, running through my company, either working ad hoc, part-time, full-time, that type of thing. So I've got a fair degree or a good foundation of what it requires to work online in an online service business. And this business has literally been the only source of income for me since 2005, and for my family as well. So I pretty much know my stuff. So today, what we're going to focus on is step-by-step, a 4-part plan for getting started, even if you're new to working online, because I've spoken to a lot of people recently who are looking to kind of jump into working online, or they've been working online for a while, but they're finding they're having to completely transition their business into something else. And even if you don't have any specific skill sets just yet, don't worry, because you don't essentially need one, or sometimes people don't realize they have a skill set that they can use online. We're also going to look at why providing online services has become one of the most opportunistic professions in the world and really could be for generations to come. We're going to look at how to find your perfect clients and instantly build trust with them so they already know that they want to work with you. Which, again, another thing people are really afraid of or are scared about is the sales aspect of this. But I think when you flip it around and you don't think so much that you're selling anything, but it's more like supporting and helping people, I'm going to talk about that in more detail, then it kind of shifts the paradigm of selling online or marketing online. Then we're going to look at a unique business model for virtual assistants, which is OneSourcing, which gives you the means to earn way more than the average online service provider. And just to back that up, I've been teaching OneSourcing in my business. I guess I started coaching and training in end of 2010, 2011. So I've been teaching this since 2011. And the UK Society of Virtual Assistants did a survey. And in that survey, they talked about where people had got training from and coaching from. And inside there, Virtual Miss Friday came out the top for the highest earning individuals from the survey and the most number of clients from the survey. So again, my business model is based on the freedom lifestyle, not so much trading hours for time, trading time for money type thing. And you only actually need a couple of simple tools to get started working online. So I'll walk you through what you need to go live, and you'll see that even if you're a total tech newbie, you can do this too. So this happened. This month, I've been so busy these last 12 days. I opened up my calendar for 10 days straight, including the weekends, to do as many 20-minute consulting calls as I possibly could with people. And I had really incredible results. I'm totally exhausted now, but it's been amazing to talk to so many people from so many different walks of life, so many different industries, areas, situations. It was amazing. So I did this not only to obviously help people in need, but I also wanted to put together an affordable group coaching program that was going to address the most common challenges that people were facing right now, okay? Not like last year or the year before, no, like right now, what are the challenges? And there were really clearly identifiable issues with many of the people I did these calls with. And with my knowledge, experience, and skill set, I've been able to create the perfect solution for all of them, and you too, obviously, and that can be implemented in just 14 days. So we're going to touch on the foundation of what I've put together today, and I'm going to give you lots of things that you could take away and start to implement yourselves straight away. Some ideas, some aha moments, I hope, for some of you. But then after that, I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about an opportunity to work with me. But what we're going to do in this webinar is really address some common questions, like, is providing online services really right for me? So a lot of people were asking that, particularly the people looking to transition, looking to move forward with some other skill set or service because the one they were in isn't working anymore, that type of thing. We're going to look at what's the best way to offer the services once you've decided whether it is right for you. How do I get clients and start making money, which was a big one. And a lot of people are in that sort of feeling where they were doing well, they did have clients, and then suddenly those clients dropped off, and then they've kind of lost their nerve a little bit, or their confidence with getting new clients on board. So we're going to look at that today as well. And am I going to need expensive or complex apps or systems in order to get started? So we're going to really cover these and address these in the points that we put forward on the webinar. And like I say, you'll have a chance to work with me at the end, and I'll tell you more about this at the end. And I have a really incredible opportunity for you that could help you get up and running with earning some kind of income in as little as 2 weeks. So I want to make sure that you are in the right place. So this is for you if any of these apply to you. You're feeling insecure about your current employment, or you're wanting to take income into your own hands. You have an existing business, but it's gone down since COVID appeared, and or you want to know how to transition from working offline to online. So there's a lot of people thinking about that, wanting to do that right now, but just feeling like it's a little bit too overwhelming, or they don't have enough time to be able to do it. You need a solid plan in place for working online because you don't have the time or the inclination to retrain or get lengthy qualifications. My brother was here recently and he's a DJ, and obviously the music business in England has just completely disappeared, and he lost all his gigs. Not only that, he was in HR and he was in recruitment, and he was on furlough several months and then also lost his job. So, you know, he came out to visit me and we spent like 3 weeks together, and I really kind of got an understanding for what it's like for people in employment right now, or going through these transition periods where they've just kind of lost everything overnight. So it's for you, you know, if you can work through something like that, if you feel like there is an opportunity for you there, then don't be despondent if something like that has happened to you. You want the flexibility to work your own hours, either from home or anywhere, and you're totally committed to seeing results and generating an income online through providing services. Or finally, you're on furlough with an unknown future ahead. And I know so many of you are, and it can be a little bit scary, but just I want you to know that you're in control of everything. And the reason you are is because everything really comes down to focus and effort. If you have focus and effort in the right direction, then that's the two things that you have the most control over. And if you can get the right strategy behind those, then there's no reason why you couldn't thrive in 2021. So if you answered yes to any of my questions, you're in the right place. So let's get started. I'm going to go through the teaching aspect and the teaching element of that right now. So I hope you guys are still okay here. Everyone's gone quiet in the chat room. Okay, so one of the questions that came up is providing online services really right for me? So we're going to look at why providing online services has become one of the most opportunistic professions in the world and could be for generations to come. It already has been for me. I mean, I've coached so many people through starting their businesses, starting to work online, doing services online. And I would say the best thing is you be the judge of whether this is right for you. But I will say it doesn't have to be a long drawn out process. It can be fast to set up and get started if you can, like I say, focus. This is why when I put together the coaching program that we're going to discuss at the end, it was 14 days, 1 hour a day, focus, just do what I tell you to do, and you'll get through it and you'll have something at the end. So it can be fast to get up and get started, as long as you're not like one of those like real perfectionist people who just like kind of fiddle around and tweak everything and never get to where you want to be because you're thinking constantly it needs to be perfect. It's flexible on working hours from anywhere. So since a long time now, I've been working to deadlines and not to specific hours per day, which gives me the flexibility to be able to work in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, on the weekends, whenever I want to work. It can also be really enjoyable. The whole point of online service businesses, and again, this is really, really important, is you do something that you enjoy and you love, and then it won't feel so much like work anymore. And I know that's really hard, especially when we're in a position right now where we're losing clients and we're losing our mojo in our business. I talk to a lot of people who were doing really, really well and were really positive, and then suddenly clients started dropping off and their business became more kind of like a noose around their neck and just a source of anxiety and stress and negativity rather than enjoyable. I would like to bring the joy back into your business if you already have one, or to show you how to start creating a more enjoyable, profitable business if you haven't already got one. This industry has actually really thrived during the corona pandemic. It is the only industry, I would say, that people are now actively looking to get into. For sure, there's been many other industries thriving, obviously the medical industry, supermarkets, that type of thing. All these essential workers are out there putting so many hours in. But in terms of just general business, which is unrelated to the pandemic, working remotely and working online has really found its place more than ever in 2020. And many companies are now considering keeping workers on remotely and not having them go back to the offices. So this is why online services, I think, is a really good thing to get into, not just now, but for the future as well, because I think it's going to be a really sustainable way to continue to make an income, particularly if you work with a global audience. So what's the best way to offer these services? So I'm going to talk about a unique business model for virtual assistants, which gives you the means to earn way more than the average online service provider. So this business model that I've put together called INSOURCING, there is a fair amount to it. And for any of you who are in my programs and courses, you'll know that I have the 5 main programs that teach INSOURCING, from the basics to setting up the business, to then going into supporter roles and working in VA teams, to being the entrepreneur, to hiring the teams, to going into the consulting and going into the product deliverables and things like that, and the launches. But the basis of INSOURCING, just to give you kind of like a basic idea, is it's unquantifiable to the client. So it focuses on selling roles instead of services. So if you are starting this industry, a lot of people will go into it with the mind that they need to list out their services and then think of an hourly rate that they will charge the client in order to sell those services. Now, the difficulty with that is when you give a client something to quantify, then they go ahead and start comparing you to other people. So it becomes a very competitive environment if that's the way you're going to approach selling services online. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does work, but it's not always the most profitable way to put the business together. And I wouldn't say it's always what's best for the client and what's best for you. But if you can work into a fixed priced budget rather than by the hour, and you sell through value and results rather than tasks, then it's going to become a lot easier to connect with potential leads and not necessarily sell the services, but kind of help people to come to the conclusion that that's right for them. So one of the guys that I was talking to, I had to sort of go into it quite in depth with him about how this works, because he was coming out of employment and he was kind of really in the employee mindset that, you know, like you do a task and then you get paid this amount of money for it. But when we work to budget, it's kind of like putting together a package or some kind of retainer that's not quantified by the client by the hour. So we're not going to say to the client, oh, I do social, I'll post on social media for you for $20 an hour. No, instead what we're doing is selling the value of what we're giving and the results of what we're giving. So for example, somebody can sell services to update people's customer relationships management system, and they might also do data entry. Now, if you sell customer relationships management and data entry as an hourly rate, then people are going to think, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to go and look for people who do data entry and customer relationships management, and then I'm going to compare the rates and I'm going to hire whoever I think is okay and is coming in at a reasonable rate and whatever. But instead of selling customer relationships management data entry, what if you put a package together where you did internet research and then you sourced potential leads for a client? And let's say that client, and you went and looked at a client's website and they had a product that they were selling for £500. And you know that it's worth to them, or the value to them is if they got one person to buy that product, it would be worth to them £500. This is just an example. So then if you go ahead and do internet research, and you source leads, and then you data entry them onto a spreadsheet, and then the customer or the client also has a CRM system with a whole bunch of existing shoppers in there who have bought the £500 product, but then you have another product which complements that 500 product, which is another £500 product, for example. Then you start to see how we're selling something different to internet research, data entry, and CRM. What we're doing is selling an opportunity to say to someone, okay, well, within this budget, I'll provide you with approximately between 100 and 150 leads per month. And if just 4 of those leads make a purchase, that makes you £2,000 or $2,000. And I will charge you £500. So all you have to do is make one sale to a lead that I give you in order to pay for me, and then make back 3 times more. So that's how you sell to people. It's not selling to people. It's like showing people the results that they could potentially get, and then the cost involved of those results, which is way more effective than saying, I'm going to sit here and do internet research, look at your CRM system, and do data entry for $20 an hour. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So that's basically the concept around one sourcing and how we put these packages together. We don't just take the individual services. We look at the client. We think about the client. We think about what result do they want to see, and then how can we package into a result and then charge a fee for it. Then obviously it's really sustainable. So this business model, it's really easy to scale. You know, you can go up and up. It fits in with people's demands if they're growing their business, that type of thing. And it doesn't have to be boxed into these very specific services. Again, I was talking to a coaching client today, and she's like, well, how do I explain the difference between like an hourly rate and working with a budget? You know, and I said it's really simple, because most of the time businesses are never flatlining. You know, it's never the same every single day, particularly in online businesses. If you're working with people online, there's fluctuations. Sometimes they're doing launches, so you might have to put more into social media or content creation one month than you do the next month. Maybe the following month you're onboarding members into a membership site, so then you have to do more customer support that month than you have to do anything else. So business is constantly fluctuating, and if you try to box everything into the hour, it's really difficult then to grow and shift and change with the business. You want to be able to say, oh, well, I've got ideas. You know, when you partner with someone, when you're supporting someone on that level, you want to go to them and say, I have an idea. Why don't we try this? Why don't we do this? And to say to someone, okay, we'll manage this within the budget. It's not going to cost you any more, but then it feels like you're supporting the client, you're helping the client, and you're trying to do this within their budget, and you're not just after more hours and more money. It's just like that. Now, obviously, the more this goes on, the better you do, the more results the clients see from what you're doing, the more they'll invest in packages with you. So it's about really getting the basics right of making it not based just on the task and the hour, but on a budget and a role, and then figuring out what that means to the client and what that could potentially mean to the client, so you can then explain it so it makes sense in their head. Okay. So how do I get clients and start making money? So I'm going to talk now about how to find your perfect clients and instantly build trust with them, so they already know that they want to work with you. And we touched on it a little bit in the last slide, because we talked about, you know, the value and the results to the client. So basically, I'm going to give you, I would say definitely stick to a strategy. I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea of one, so you can take this away. But this is working right now. This is working in 2020, in all the, all the madness, in all the craziness. I've got some kind of guru-y type friends in this industry who are also very much in the product industry and the service industry. And a lot of people had these evergreens that were rolling, and they were making thousands a month in these evergreens. For those of you who don't know what an evergreen is, it's kind of like an automated sales funnel for selling a product or a program or a membership site or some kind of digital asset. And they kind of had these things on autopilot, and it was all working well until one day everything just kind of tanked. A lot of them had to stop using their evergreen funnels, had to start thinking about something else. And out of everyone I spoke to, and this is including myself, going down the road of having a more personal interaction with someone is securing sales way more than the traditional throwing out on email marketing, chucking money at a bunch of ads, all those things that you would normally turn to in a normal world. So I would suggest that you use social media to reach audiences of people who could become clients or recommend you to potential clients. Another thing that I would say, don't let it slip the net, is constantly thinking that it's a waste of my time unless I'm talking to someone who could potentially be my client. Really, all you want to do is start engaging and networking and talking to people in a particular industry, and then that person, you might talk to them, realize that they're not good client potential for you, but their colleague down the road or somebody they met at an online networking event, or the person next to them on the Zoom call or something like that, could use your services. So it's just about making friends, connecting with people, seeing what's available out there, looking at people's audiences, seeing how you can implant yourself into these different communities and groups where people start to recognize you and know your name. Oh, that's like the Cheers song, isn't it? Does anyone remember Cheers? Where everybody knows your name. Just burst into song there. That was weird. Okay, so ask questions by opening discussions or polls to pre-qualify leads into prospects and then shortlist them. So again, I don't want you to feel pressure that you've got to sell and you're not a salesperson, because it's not like that anymore. That's the great thing about 2020. We were already experiencing this before, but we were also experiencing the kind of heavy, full-on hit marketing with the email and the Facebook ads and things like that. But it's changed, it's morphed. So just go into groups, start polls, open discussions, ask people questions. What are your challenges? What are you facing right now? Where do you feel like you need help? It's got to be about asking people. It's got to be more about market research than marketing. So from that, you can encourage people to leave comments, to talk about their issues, help people as well, respond to those comments. But also, if you see a potential prospect, shortlist them, do outreach to them directly. And if you haven't got my Getting Client Guide, my free Getting Client Guide, you can go to virtualmissfriday.com. You can sign up for that on the homepage. And it's 7 techniques of how to basically go from lead into, making it a sort of standard lead into a hot lead. And we talk about video emails and things like that. So just make everything really personal. Approach the prospects personally to discover ways on how you can help each other, and ask them on the call about their goals and their visions, okay? And share your value and results. Most of the time, and this is so true, and this is why it's important, again, to consider not particularly selling services to people, is they don't know what they want and they don't know what they need. They only know what they want to see occur. And if you can come in and not be the one saying, well, I do this, this, and this, do you want it? And you can be the one to say, okay, well, what result do you want to see? What do you want to see happen? What's your goal? Then you can start seeing how you fit into that, and then you can start presenting your solution, as in, okay, well, it's so boring to list out, I do this, this, and this. It's so boring to sit there and say, I do customer relationships management, data entry, internet research, because those 3 things on their own don't mean anything to the client. They're like, great, I don't think I need those things. But if you say, I can provide you with 100 to 150 leads a month, which you could then convert into potential clients for selling product X. Yeah, I definitely want that. Definitely want that. You know, you see the difference. It's just how you communicate it and how you sell it. But these days, you can't just send a round robin email where you just change somebody's name. You know, nobody's looking at that right now. Offer a call, offer to connect, pitch it directly on a call with someone or through a video message, asking someone like, can you share with me your goal, share with me your vision? Open the conversation with that, and it won't feel like anyone's being sold to. And in the end, it will just feel like, wow, you just solved a problem for me that I had. And it makes it really a no-brainer. You don't have to really sell anything. So get your strategy and stick to it. Next one, am I going to need expensive or complex apps or systems? And you only actually need a couple of simple tools to get started with working and providing services online. So I'll walk you through what you need to do live, and you'll also be able to do this if you're a total newbie, total technophobe. Really, the systems and the tools that are out there right now are just insanely easy. And a lot of times, I think, particularly in the graphic space, you know, a lot of people are either retraining or starting to use other systems which are a lot easier, which people feel a lot more comfortable with, which are quicker, because there's so many DIY tools out there now, because people are looking to cut costs and save money. You don't have to go in and use Photoshop like every few hours and things like that just to create a logo or something like that. You can nip into Canva, and I've done it myself. Like, a lot of people have asked me, can you create a logo? I think there's a lady on here right now who asked me for a logo, and you know, she showed me this logo, and I was like, do you mind if I just play around with this for a little while? You know, and I sat there and I just kind of put together some mock-ups in Canva, which is a great system, you know, and then we have a logo, and it doesn't take hours and hours anymore. So I'm going to suggest to you, like, if you're looking for the basics of how to start an online service business, basics, this is all you need. You need a simple bio site, a simple online business card that says, this is who I am and this is what I do. Ideally, you'd want to stick your package on there as well. But basically, I would suggest using a site called Card. It's CARRD.co. So simple. There's a free version, so you can get started for nothing. Obviously, it is nice if you can upgrade, and the upgrade is not that expensive. I think just to add your own domain, it's like $20 a year or something like that. So use a really simple site. Obviously, if you want to use WordPress or Wix or Squarespace or any of these others, then feel free to do so. But if you're on a budget and you're not particularly technical when it comes to starting a website, and you want something that looks cute and nice and sweet, then go with card.co. Also, you need an email marketing system. And the reason we need an email marketing system is so we can collect leads and collect people who are interested and do video email messaging to them. So don't ever let anyone slip through the net who's put their name and email address in to sign up to hear from you. So ConvertKit is an email marketing tool. It's free for up to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're completely new to this and you don't have an email list, then you can set up ConvertKit, sign up for an account. They've got an offer on at the time of making this webinar where it's 1,000 subscribers, and you can just hook that up to your Card account, and then you can start taking in leads that way. Obviously, having some kind of offer linked to that is also a good idea. And there are various things that you could do if you provide services online. From, you know, for example, if you're a graphic designer, you could offer a free branding kit or something like that, or, you know, whatever it is. Or you could offer just a free consultation call. Do use video email messaging. It's way more effective than just standard emails these days. Bonjoro is something that you can sign up for. And it's free for 50 videos. You can make these 30-second videos, just record them on your computer or whatever. It's so fast. You can do it on a mobile phone as well. And it just adds that personal element. You can say, hi, Joe, hi, Jane. you know, and suddenly you've got people's attention. You know, if it's just text and email, people are thinking, well, 40,000 other people got this too. But if it's you on a video saying, hi Joe, I've checked out your website, love what you're doing, I've noticed that you sell product X, Y, and Z, and I help people to actually find leads to purchase those products. And if you're interested in knowing more, just let me know, that type of thing. Keep it really casual. And then also I would suggest, you know, for the marketing aspect, all free, a Facebook page, a LinkedIn bio, Instagram, and Twitter. So if you can get those 4 core social media platforms, you technically, in these four tools, you have everything you need to get started and up and running with your business. And again, if you already have an existing business, but you don't feel like, you're feeling like unsure, like, do I completely change my business? Do I, you know, if it's not working anymore, obviously, do I go down this road? Do I do this? Try this on the side. Just set this up, this little strategy on the side, and see how it goes for you. And then you'll say either, oh my God, it's great, it's working, I'm going to completely transition. Or you might say, I'm going to try another one, another package, another service, and see if that, you know, I can put that out there and see how that goes. So it's really quick to set up, and it'll give you a lot of room for maneuver to try different things. Hope you guys are all still with me. Yeah, Patrice says, network and engage, build relationships and trust, and the sale will become a lot easier. You're so right, Patrice. Network and connect, says Danson. Thank you, Danson. So how does this all come together? We've covered a lot of ground. We've covered a lot of bits and pieces of things that are going on right now. But I want to give you the 4-part plan for getting started, even if you're new to working online and you don't have any specific skill sets. So this is kind of bringing together everything that we have talked about and discussed today. So you first of all have to determine what service it is that you're going to offer. Now, we've touched a little bit on the results that we want to see for people. So there are 2 ways you can architect this or put this together. The first one is to kind of list out all your services and then start blocking him into, like, I'm really strong at this one, I need a little bit of help with this one, and then start thinking about how these services can translate into results for people. Like I said, we've translated in this example, internet marketing, data entry, and customer relationship management. We translated that into sales, okay? Or lead generation, however you want to put it. Could be lead generation or sales. So that's what you need to do. So you need to take your services and then translate it into the client's results language. So determine what services you have to offer, and then determine how that collectively solves a problem or provides a result that the prospect is seeking, and consider the value of the resolution to the client. So again, you know, it's like you can put this together and package it and, you know, bow it up and put a price on it. But you've got to really think to yourself, you know, like, well, what kind of clients am I looking for? Am I going to price this accordingly with the client and what they're doing, that type of thing. Then create a small bio site, like I said, in Card or something, or a link to display that particular package with fixed fees attached to it. A lot of people are like, do I put the fee on there? Do I not? If you're going to do tiered packages and you just want to do a from price, like I ain't getting out of bed unless it's a minimum £500, then you can put your package together with your roles and the results, and then you can say this is a minimum £500 investment. And this is just so when we're bringing leads in, we can kind of whittle out the ones who definitely cannot afford £500. And again, I'm not saying you should charge £500. These are just examples that I'm giving you, just to kind of give you more context to what we're talking about. So create that bio site, put that package on it, explain what's involved in the package, what the result will be to the client, and then put a minimum fee or a minimum price on there, or a minimum budget the client will need in order to start working with you. And then you just move forward and you source the prospects who need that offer. and present this to them in a very personal way. So we've talked about Bonjoro. We've talked about getting involved in groups and communities and commenting, reaching out to people on LinkedIn, connecting with people, saying, hi, I noticed we're in the same group. I left a poll in there the other day asking people what they're struggling with. I noticed you said this, and this is something I can help with. Are you free to get on a 30-minute call so I can give you some advice and explain some things to you and hear more about your business? It's got to be about collaboration. It's got to be about mutual collaboration. You know, what can I do for you and what can you do for me? How can we help each other? That's really the mindset in business of going from employee, which is all about you doing this and you doing this for that person, and it's twisting it around into, you know, working with each other instead of working for someone. So now you have a choice. I really hope you guys found that helpful. And I really appreciate you sticking around. So choice number one is to just take what you've learned and apply it all to yourself. Even if you take these tips about putting together the value results package with the budget and then starting to see how you can adapt and adjust your existing business to work with that, you know, you're going to start to see some changes already right away, especially if you have an existing business. Maybe if you're just starting out in business, you might need a little bit more help, a little bit more suggestion if you've never done it before. But certainly just that one change alone, or that one transition alone, will start to make things a lot easier for you to go into 2021 with a lot more leads and prospects at your feet in order for you to choose from to work with. So you can go ahead and apply it. Or choice number two is you can let me help you. Let me help you. Create or adjust your service business in just 14 days and 1 hour a day. I'm very much someone who's very organized with my time because I do have so many kids. I've got 3 kids. I'm also pregnant with number 4. And I have this business that I run, and I have a home that I run, and I homeschool. So for me, time really is of the essence. So I've managed to put this program together to teach you everything from start to finish, to put the package together with you, to price that package, to then think about where we're going to find these leads, who's going to sell it to, how you're going to translate that into a result, all of that good stuff in 14 days and just 1 hour a day. So there is no excuse. And we've literally barely started in this webinar. We've barely started scratching the surface over what you could potentially do. So my Seriously Successful Services Group Coaching Program begins on January 6, 2021. So you can relax over the holiday period and get ready to get started and hit the ground running in 2021. What's included is a meet and greet party. That's on the 29th of December. So obviously we're going to start the meet and greet this year. Is not going to be too much work involved in that. I'm going to be talking to you guys, understanding a little bit more about your personal circumstances, your situation, because that will also really help me tailor this program to the individuals that join it. And there's going to be a live introductory session with me on the 6th of January with everyone inside the group. Then I'm going to do 8 pre-recorded video classes that teaches you from start to finish the plan, the strategy, how to put it together. We're going to really dissect all of these elements, and I'm going to draw them out into a video which teaches you in detail the specifics of exactly what you need to do in order to come to the conclusion and create that piece, and then create the next piece and create the next piece before it all comes together at the end. Then we're going to have a few days of action planning and catch up. So if you did miss any of the 8 classes, which are going live 1 per day, you can catch up with those and then create and put together your plan and your strategy for moving forward after the 14 days are finished. Then we'll have a live review session at the end on the 19th of January where we can do a catch up, we can do a group session, we can all discuss about how it went for everybody, what people are doing, bounce ideas off of each other. I'm also really curious to see if we get anybody who is going to have maybe complementary services as well, where there could be a potential for collaboration there too, because you never know with these things. And then plus, right now, from today, the 15th of December until the 18th of December, there are a few other things that I'm adding in. So it's £100 discount off the price. So right now, the price is $297, but during these 3 days, 15th to the 18th, it's 197. So 197 quid to complete a coaching program with me to get all the ducks lined up in a row and get ready to hit the ground running with your new service package. I'll also include the Freelancer Startup course, which is my course for starting your online service business from scratch, start to finish. So that goes in all into the detail of the systems, the programs, the client tools, the onboarding process, the invoicing process, all of those things you need to work online. That is included free, and that is a 197 value. And then also a free one-on-one follow-up session where it's just you and me. There's no group involved. It's you bring your plan, you bring to me the strategy, everything you've put together, you tell me what it is your plan is, and then we will thrash that out, and I will suggest maybe some changes, and I will answer any questions that you have, anything that you're not quite sure about. We're going to have an hour together to go through those, just one-on-one, you and me. That's a £97 value. So usually when people book a call with me for an hour, it's £97, and you're going to get that completely free. Plus, you'll get my Essential Resources program, which is also £97, completely free included. So you're going to save 100 quid and get almost £400 in bonus gifts. For 197, you can join me on this coaching program and have all of this stuff included between the 15th today and the 18th. So I just want to go through quickly the topics we're going to cover in the coaching program, because obviously we've got to pull everything together. And one of the things I really want to cover is mindset, because I think a lot of people disregard that as like, oh, well, I'll think about that later once I've started making money. But this is the foundation of any good entrepreneurial business. So who you need to be successful, what you want to do in order to get successful, how to get there. So we're going to go through the steps of the process of how that works, and then overcoming any obstacles that are in your way, because a lot of the times we talk ourselves out of things or go in different directions or choose a different route that isn't really true to what we want to achieve, because we have some negative self-talk that we need to work through. So we'll do a few sessions on mindset and then a few sessions on implementation, where we go really into the action planning. So we plan the transition of the business, whether it's starting the new business or transitioning the existing one. We'll go as well into business development and how that's going to work for you with the service package, with the pricing. Then we're going to go into generating leads to be able to connect with people to, again, pitch this product or this service. And we're going to look at who the potential leads are with the results that you need to go out and find, or the results that you offer, so you can match up really well with the client, and then securing those clients and beyond, and growing the business from there. So this is all set up. It's all ready to go. And we're going to be doing this from start to finish with these individual points and topics being covered in the group coaching program. So all of this for only $197, the £100 discount, the one-on-one follow-up session with me, the Freelancer Startup course, the Essential Resources, and the whole entire 2-week coaching program. So if you're interested in joining, this is the link that you need to go to. It's Seriously Successful Services. That seemed like a really good idea at the time to call it that. So I'm going to post the link inside the chat. Oh, Linda says congratulations. Thank you so much. So I've posted the link inside the chat, and hopefully you all can see that. If not, let me also try and post it over here, because I got 2 screens going here. No, excellent multitasker. And there we go. Okay, so I now am going to stop broadcasting my screen, and we're back. So that's been so cool. Thank you so much, guys. We're right on the top of the hour. I cannot believe I squeezed all that in. So thank you so much. Jocelyn says, yep, got it. Andrew Hall got it. Thank you so much. I would love to see you on this coaching program. We already have people signed up, so we've already got spaces being filled. I would love for you to join. Don't let it go too long. Hopefully we won't reach our limit by the end of these few days. But this is the cheapest price I'm going to offer it as well, because obviously once we put together the coaching program, we might do a relaunch again. I don't know, but it's really specifically based on what's going on right now in the world and how you can pivot or start your business. And there's loads of other good stuff in there that I think you're going to really enjoy and find useful and helpful. So join me, join these other people, and I really, really hope that that helps. Everyone says thank you so much. Rachel has to go and collect her grandchildren. Thank you, Mags. Thank you. I won't keep you guys any longer. We're at the top of the hour now. It's been amazing. Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Do please, if you want to join, don't hesitate. It's so value packed. I'm going to love working with you. And I hope that you love working with me just as much. So thank you so much, guys. Take care. Hope you got lots of takeaways. Antonella says you're a pro, Michelle. So much, sweetie. Thank you. It's been such a pleasure to be with you guys. Amanda says thank you. Okay, we're going to end this. One more chance. I'm just going to put this in and we're good to go. So have a wonderful day ahead or evening wherever you are. Have a seriously wonderful Christmas. And if you don't join the coaching program, I don't see you on the meet and greet, Happy New Year. But if I do see you on the meet and greet, then I've got a few little nice things up my sleeve for that little party in between Christmas and New Year, which is always kind of a flat period as well. Happy holidays to everyone. Will it be available to watch offline, says Rachel. Yeah, sure. If you come back here, there should be a replay. And if not, Rachel, we can send it to you directly, but you should get an email about the replay as well. Okay, cool. I'm going to head off now. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, wonderful New Year, wonderful evening, wonderful day ahead, week ahead. Take care, guys. And she says, thank you very much for your kindness. Oh, thank you. She's based in Copenhagen, specializing in assisting construction professionals. She's going to reach out directly. Lovely to see you here, and lovely to be able to talk to you and connect with you. So support at virtualmissfriday.com as well if anyone does want to reach out to me directly through my support site. I'll just leave that in here. I'm going to say goodbye again, and really this time I am going to go. It's like one of those calls where you go, bye, yeah, bye, yeah, bye, bye. Oh, yeah, yeah, okay, bye. It's like that. I'm like that. I am that person. Okay, guys. So support at virtualmissfriday.com if you have any questions or anything that you want to talk about. We're always happy here and always here for you and happy to hear from you at Virtual Miss Friday. So thanks, guys. Love you. Take care. Happy holidays. Ciao.